Welcome to the Pigskin Party Podcast, the only podcast that combines real NFL analysis with a splash of pop culture and a dash of the random. Let's get this Pigskin Party started with your hosts, Brian McFadden, Will Southard, and Tommy Yu.
Welcome back to the PPP presented by DraftKings. It's time for the flavor of the week. My name is Brian. Please subscribe if you're listening or watching. Rate us, review us, and tell a friend so that we can grow this 1-year-old Pigskin Party. Joining me, as always, one of them who has been with me since the beginning for a year, and one of them that hopefully will be with us this time when we're celebrating our 2-year anniversary, Will, Billy Southard, and Tommy Yu. Will, I'll start with you on this, specifically because I see that you're chewing on some food, and I want to interrupt you.
I'm not chewing
How
on
are you
nothing.
feeling?
Not chewing nothing. I actually swallowed before you called on me, but what I am chewing on...
I was waiting for
That's what I'm
something.
doing.
But come on, Anthony. That missed
family
opportunity.
Pack, a family pack of extra toasty Cheez-Its, and I'm going to
go through the
I'm gonna
entire
munch
pack
on those
yeah.
while we do our quote-unquote real analysis with a dash of the random.
That's right. Look at you. You're admiring the host intro voiceover 1 year in. We must have done something right. Tommy, how about you, man? We're about to make some game picks for Week 11. We're going to go over the pick results from last week. Looks like we're right back where we started with me in last place. How are you feeling now?
I mean, all the way from the fact that the Eagles won. I did pretty well in our DFS league, the one that I participate in. I've made a handful of trades in some fantasy leagues. I'm on top of the world right now. And this episode, we get to brag a little bit in Flavor of the Week. I'm not going to reveal it, but this is a pretty good episode for me. I'm at a pretty good headspace.
So we do not have a guest this week. We started a new segment with the Flavor of the Week where we're going to bring on different guests, have them pick, and then compare our picks to them. So what we'll do, since we had Ty Dunn of Go Long, who we are going to reschedule with probably for 2 weeks from now, is we'll just do a percentage. We'll do a win percentage based on the picks of the guests, since we're not going to have them on every single week. So we will continue to do that. Stick around for the various NFL guests we'll have on who pick against us. But before we get into our picks for Week 11, we're going to start with the Palate Cleanser, as always. Except we're not actually going to do a cleanse because... I don't know, sometimes we just feel like keeping the football love going. So instead of a normal palate cleanser where we talk about pop culture, and we did the war movies thing last week, and I don't know, it felt like the balloon was let out of that segment a little bit, and so we're just going to talk some football. So what we're going to do is, we did a few weeks back, before we changed the format, we did a What We Got Wrong, where we went around the room, and the three of us just talked about what did we predict in the preseason that we were just flat out wrong about. Well, let's take a victory lap now. Tommy's feeling himself. We're going to keep the good times rolling. We're at 1 year. Let's have this be a celebratory thing. What did we get right? So we're going to start. I'll start with Tommy on this because, once again, Will is chewing on his extra toasty Cheez-Its.
No, let me go first. I completely called how good Mac Jones was going to be.
Definitely in the What I Got Wrong column, we have video evidence of the contrary.
No, I knew he was going to be great from the beginning when I saw him in Alabama.
Was that reverse psychology? Were you trying to psych him into being
I've
good?
always believed in his talent, and here we are, and I'm right. So that's all we need to know. That's my first.
So, Tommy, how about an actual non-fabricated answer? What did you get right this year?
I usually start this by saying I don't want to brag, but I completely want to brag. And this, as you guys know, I try to come off researched or at least have good statistics behind some of the things that I say, but there are some things where I have no factual evidence of anything. So anytime I say anything, you guys should definitely challenge me. Be like, Tommy, what are you talking about? But if I'm ever talking about the NFC East, ever, don't you dare come at me saying, no, Washington's going to be good. They're going to win the division. They even have a good defense. Or the Eagles are one of the worst. Nah, dude, get out of here with that. I knew that Dallas was going to dominate. Unfortunately, that has come true. Then I said, Washington is not going to be good. And I doubled down, not just the fact that they're not going to make playoffs, but I didn't think they were going to be very good. And that's kind of what they're doing. Well, to be fair, they did lose Ryan Fitzpatrick. That could be a whole different story. So that's why I can't really take a victory lap on that one. But the last and final thing was, yeah, the Giants are bad and the Eagles are bad, but I remember defending them feeling like a homer saying, guys, it's not that I think the Eagles are good, but they're definitely not the worst team in the NFL. And that's kind of how it is. I mean, they already have 4 wins. They beat the Broncos, and I don't think they're going to win that many more games, but they're still a pretty solid team. And that's kind of what I predicted. But once again, this isn't me taking a victory lap because I am an Eagles fan, unfortunately. I unfortunately have to watch NFC East football all the time. So I feel like when it comes to anyone in our division, I'm not saying I should be the expert, but come on, guys. I feel like I've earned, if you guys have any questions, let me know at least on the NFC East, and I'll at least try to give my most unbiased answer, and typically it is. Like, I've even been praising Dallas recently, and so that tells you how much I try to put my professionalism in front of me. So, Brian, you're such a professional, nice guy. I think you're rubbing off on this Philly filth that I am.
Well, in fairness, that division was the train wreck of train wrecks last year. When you have a team who, what was it? The Giants almost won the division at 6-10. So that just kind of tells you there's a reason why everyone is doubting it. Kudos to you for getting it right with the NFC East, but you kind of at least see where we were coming from, right?
I mean, when you look at the NFL as a whole, I would think that when you take the sum total of the opinions coming into the season, when you take the sum total of the opinions coming into the season, there's a lot of we got it wrong, and there's a lot of maybe who knows, right? Like Matthew Stafford and the Rams, right? We thought dark horse MVP candidate coming into the year, probably not, right? I mean, especially given the game that he just had. So the jury's kind of out. We thought, kind of going through, the Bills were going to be dominant. Are they? Kind of. Maybe the Browns were supposed to be good. That was wrong. The Texans.
That was a lie.
Yeah, I'm close to taking a flat L with that. I mean, the Browns could still get it together and make a run. I thought they were going to after their drubbing of the Bengals last week, but then they just got destroyed by Belichick. And then
the Titans' defense was going to be horrible with no secondary. Kind of wrong there, right? I mean, I guess
you do remember that this is the what we got right segment, right?
I was just about to say the one thing that we could plant a feather in. The Texans are bad.
Yeah, that's what we got.
Yeah,
along
really,
with the rest of the people with eyeballs.
Really going out on a limb and saying that the team with as much turmoil. Here. Yeah, really. That's the best you got, Will. I mean, you know what, Will? You're just being true to character.
But listen, if I don't take it, like somebody has to. We thought the Texans were going to be bad, and they were bad.
That's fair. Brian, I feel like that's not a high bar to pass.
No,
what
it really
were
isn't.
You right on that you want to brag about?
What such a layup there.
Well, the Steelers too, right? The Steelers were another one. If you want a less obvious one,
I was right on the Steelers. I'm the only one on this podcast who picked them to not make the playoffs. And granted, it's early. I'm not ready to take a victory lap on the Steelers yet, because if they make the playoffs, then even though they clearly have some issues, they're still not. They still made the playoffs. So if they don't make the playoffs, I'll take the victory lap then. What I want to take
that I think that they're booty cheeks too, but I just love Tomlin so much. But no, you're right. But continue.
Tomlin's a fantastic coach. I just think that they've got so many problems, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Big Ben barely holding it together. Mason Rudolph comes in because Ben gets COVID, and look what happened. Anyway, no, the victory lap I'm going to take is I was touting the potential of this Carolina Panthers defense in the offseason. I said it numerous times. I didn't think the Panthers would make the playoffs because I just had concerns on the offensive side of the ball. I think they still had a lot of growing to do, but I just like Brian Burns, Jeremy Chen, Shaq Thompson. They drafted well, and then he hasn't been able to play. But I just felt like this was a good year, and they're the current number 2 overall defense in the NFL in total yardage, behind only the Bills. Currently, there's only 2 teams in the NFL allowing less than 300 yards a game. Tommy, any guess who those teams are?
Teams that are giving up less than 300 yards a game?
Total yards.
Ooh, that's got to be a tough one.
I literally just told the 2, but yes, go ahead. It was meant to be a layup for you.
No, sorry. I was just half paying attention because I was trying to see what other teams were, or what other things I might have been right on in this season.
I'm going to go with who are the Bills and the
Panthers. There you go, Will. Hey, for once, Will was paying more attention to the show than Tommy. But Tommy, you're still like 99% higher on Will in the pay attention factor. Yes. So
Can I take a victory lap on the Jets?
I'm
being
not
bad
done
too?
yet. No, you can't. Pick something more exciting and less obvious than that. So the Panthers, number 2 in total yards, number 1 pass defense in yards per game, allowing only 173.7 yards per game. A lot of that has been due to their stellar pass rush. They're top 5 in pressures and sacks. Brian Burns has been an absolute star. I don't see this subsiding. The only reason the Panthers at this moment are technically a playoff seed is because of that defense. We talked about on the main episode with Cam Newton coming back. That could be the spark that helps them keep that 7 seed. But yeah, I'm going to take that victory lap on predicting this Panthers defense to be as good as they are. I don't know that even I thought they were going to be elite. Like they could end legitimately as the number 1 defense in the NFL. But yeah, happy to take that victory lap. Will, why don't you come up with one that's not just like, oh, well, the Jets and the Texans suck?
That was a good impression. Was
That's
that Will?
That's exactly what he sounds
Who was
like.
that?
Spot on.
I don't
20
I
years I've
plan
known
a
this
lot
guy.
of-
I should know how to talk like him.
I don't plant a lot of flags, and I didn't plant a lot of flags in the off season on things that I called, and most of them that I did plant were just, I mean, unequivocally wrong, right? Like the football team planted that flag, that thing got just blown away in a hurricane, real bad. But I mean, I guess the ones that I sort of picked, right? I was pretty high on the Bengals coming into the year with Joe Burrow and that whole receiving core and the revamped defense. That's proven to be pretty right. And then also, I guess, really, Kyle Pitts. You know, I said he was going to be great, and he has proven to be
Really? The highest
only
drafted
thing
tight
that's
end
really-
ever. It's just-
Yeah, but like, yeah, sure. But I mean, you could have easily said that, you know, he would have been Hawkinsoned, right? And so you can plant a flag there. But I mean, I like I said, a lot of the other stuff that I thought coming into this year, I've kind of been proven wrong, right? I mean, we had a question
An
about
honest man right here.
we've had about Herbert, right, coming into the year, and we were
Air
like,
Bear.
we haven't heard anything about this guy in training camp. Like, is he, you know? And they start the year, and we're like, no, we were wrong. He's fine. Like, is he fine? Are they fine? I don't know.
I had
Maybe.
some concerns. Just putting that out there.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Right.
If you go back and listen, wow, my voice got really high there, but I just got.
Hey,
guys, stop it. No, I did say. Remember, it was. I think we're just covering just divisions, and we're talking about the Chargers, and I kind of threw Air Bear in the dumpster. But I was like, it's because he's gonna have a sophomore slump. You guys are too high on him, and I guess that's a little. That's a mini lap. That's not a full lap. That's a mini lap right now.
I mean, I was really high on Justin Fields and the Bears' pick of Justin Fields coming in, and his first couple games, we were like, you know, I don't know, you know, is this going to be one of those Matt Nagy specials? Fields looks pretty good. I mean, the jury's kind of out there. So,
he is looking better. I'll say that. He's definitely
sure.
looked better last week.
better,
Yeah.
right? So,
I still think
I
think
don't-
he's a product of that
I don't know what
offense.
he
They
thinks,
need
like-
somebody besides Nagy in there. The best he looked was when Nagy had COVID and wasn't in there to call the plays. So that is telling. I'm going to go ahead and jump on another one here. So, by the way, one of you, feel free to take the Urban Meyer, because I think we were all like Myers. Maybe not Will because of the UF ties, but Tommy, I know you had your doubts about Meyer before the season started.
Hang on. I said I wanted to see this. I was very interested.
That's
to
That's
see how
different
the
than
Jaguars
calling
will
it saying,
play
hey,
out
I
this
don't
year.
think it's going to work. I'm pretty sure Tommy said a few times that he didn't believe that the Meyer experiment was going to work. But I'm going to do a player one, and it may not be super out there, but I was really high on Javonte Williams out of UNC. I did say multiple times that I wanted the Dolphins to draft him with one of their 2 first-round picks. They didn't. And the only rookies that are ahead of him are Najee Harris, who gets like 30 touches a game, and Elijah Mitchell, who, until Jeff Wilson came back, was clearly getting all the rushing the attempts in a Shanahan offense. Javonte Williams is splitting pretty close to even with Melvin Gordon in Denver, and he still is third amongst rookies with rushing yards at 514. I just feel like that the arrow is only going to go up for him. Dolphins should have taken him. The Broncos actually traded ahead of the Dolphins to take Williams in the second round, and I think we're seeing why.
I'm going to go. I do have a flag to plant. I said Trevor Lawrence was going to be bad in the NFL, and I was not as high on him as everybody else was, and I said he shouldn't have been the number 1 overall pick, and here we are.
I don't remember you. I remember you not being as high. I don't remember you saying he shouldn't have been the number 1 overall pick. You were high on Fields. I remember that. You were very high on Fields, and not high on Mac Jones. But none of us were. So
listen. How about you just give me one of these? Because I don't have many. And we go on about our lives.
I'll make I just have 2 real quick shout out ones, and then anyone else could chime in if they would like. It's to finish off that short mini victory lap that wasn't a full lap. I'm just gonna pass that on like a baton to other mini ones to maybe make a full victory lap. The other ones where I was pretty high on the Raiders, I remember from when we were covering the AFC, and I said, hey, not only do I think they're not going to be bad, but I think that they have a chance at the playoffs. And unfortunately, a lot of things went down that have skewed kind of the outlook of the Raiders. So I'm not making an excuse like, oh, I was kind of wrong or right. So that's why this is a half victory lap. And then my last and final point is I planted the flag, and it was not very polarizing at the time. But as you guys mentioned before, I'm a Lamar Jackson stan. And I said, hey, I understand that the Ravens are getting decimated with injuries at this point. It's when they pretty much lost J.K. Dobbins. They lost everyone. Gus Bus went down. All this crazy stuff was out. I was like, it does not matter. Lamar Jackson will backpack this team. And hey, you may not like it, and I know they just lost, but besides that, they still have a pretty darn good record. So, hey, I'm still pretty happy with these mini victory laps I've been taking.
Fair enough. I will allow it. And I'll allow your Trevor Lawrence one. That's your win, Will, because you didn't think it was a slam dunk. I'll give you that, and most people did. There. You're welcome. All right, let's go ahead and go on to previewing Week 11. First, we started last week a new segment where a couple things. We reset the picks, partly because I was way in last place and I wanted to start and partly because I wanted to try something new. Where we had a guest on. We had Ari Mayrov, NFL insider from PFF, on last week.
Best.
But I went right back to my losing ways. So I finished Week 10 6-7-1. Got a little bit too confident with the Browns.
Everything.
And the Saints, and that cost me. Will and Tommy tied at 8-5-1, and Ari at 7-6-1. So what we'll do, I mentioned earlier, is we may not have a guest on every week for the flavor of the week, but what we'll do is we'll take a cumulative percentage, a win percentage, and compare it to the three of us. At the end of Week 18, we'll see exactly how we stacked up. So are you guys ready to draft? Let's talk about, actually, first let's pick the primetime games, and then we'll go through and draft. So there's no confusion. We'll try to draft a primetime game for me last week. Thursday Night Football, which, if you're listening to this on Thursday, is later tonight. New England Patriots traveling to the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are underdogs. Patriots favored on the road by 5.5. Over-under of 46.5. Tommy, as the reigning champion, and you tied with Will, we'll let you make the pick first here.
I am not going to go against McCorkle. Prime time, Thursday night, short week. I feel like typically my gut would say go with the veteran, go with Matty Ice. He will bounce back as the veteran. Doesn't need much time, but I am not going to pick against McCorkle. I definitely have New England, even though it's at Atlanta.
Yeah, New England. Atlanta just looks horrible, and they have nobody healthy other than Kyle Pitts. And if anybody's going to realize that, it's going to be Bill Belichick. Like, Kyle Pitts is not going to have a great day.
Yeah, if there's any coach that goes out of his way to take away your top weapon, well, he's literally their only weapon. It looks like Cordero Patterson is trending towards not playing.
Corduroy.
You haven't had Calvin Ridley for a few weeks now, so you're left with Kyle Pitts, Russell Gage, and Zacchaeus, who I can't even remember that other guy's name. Those are the weapons that the Falcons have. So I'm also in agreement. I think New England wins, and wouldn't be surprised if they cover that spread the way the Patriots have been playing, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Anthony, just so you know, we're jumping around to primetime games, so we're now going to Sunday night game. He's the one who keeps track of these picks, so don't want to throw him off. He's probably still medicated up and want to give you plenty of notice. Sunday Night Football. Well done. Pittsburgh Steelers. Always the second time. Okay. Pittsburgh Steelers travel to SoFi Stadium. LA Chargers at home again, but as we have said multiple times, this is not a home game. The Chargers just can't seem to pack this. There'll be some terrible towels in the stands. We'll say that. The Chargers favored at home by 3.5. Still unclear if Big Ben is going to play. He was diagnosed with COVID, still showing symptoms from what I heard earlier today being Tuesday. Tommy, we'll start with you again. The Chargers favored by 3.5 over the total points, 48.
Yeah, I feel like typically I would feel that I'd be a little bit concerned of the way that the Chargers have been sliding, but from all
Should also mention real quick, I'm sorry, TJ Watt, uncertain to play, injured his knee. It seems to be not as bad as originally thought, but still a chance he could miss this game.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was something I was going to bring up as well, because all the reports I have seen is TJ Watt doesn't look as bad, but looks like we're not too sure or confident he'll be able to obviously go. And so I take him off the menu if I am right now Air Bear thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get wrecked by Watt. No, I think you're okay there. But I've also seen reports that they're kind of preparing not to be with Big Ben. So because of all these things, it's very hard not to pick the Chargers. So I'm hoping that Air Bear could bounce back, get a little bit more confidence, try to get Mike Williams that ball a little bit more, and open up that aggressive mindset again. So it's the Chargers for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers, too, in a bounce-back game at home against the Steelers. The Steelers are just not going to – I don't think they're going to have the offensive firepower to keep up. So
the one thing I'm questioning is the Chargers actually have one of the worst –
You're going to get it wrong.
Oh, no, I'm picking the Chargers. I'm putting it out there. I'm just saying. Okay, great. I was going to –
He's just going to copy us from now on, Will.
I was going to get – I know, right? Say. That's the winning formula. I was going to give all sorts of analysis and lead up, but Will made me make my pick early. Fine, I'm picking the Chargers, but – if there's a path to victory for the Steelers, even with Mason Rudolph at quarterback, is that the Chargers have one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. They play a lot of that two-safety shell that we talked about, but they don't have the defensive line talent to be able to stop the run, and they're allowing like over 5 yards a carry. And the Steelers, I think Tomlin's going to know this. He's going to know, especially with Rudolph in, that this is a Najee Harris game. It's a Sunday night football game, so it's not in the main slate, but if you're playing one of the captain showdown modes, definitely a good game to put Najee Harris as your captain. So that's the one path I could see, is if the Steelers control the ball, but they're a different defense without TJ Watt, and that's really a bigger factor here. So that's why I'm picking LA to win at home as well. Monday Night Football, good bounce back game for your boy Brady. The New York Giants traveling to Tampa Bay to face the Bucs. Bucs, as of Monday's line, favored by 11.5, and 50.5 is the point total. Tommy.
Oh, this is the easiest so far that we have gone, and it's definitely got to be Tampa Tom. He's got to be pretty upset. He also has to be like, oh my gosh, this is the Giants. I have a grudge against them, so I expect Tampa to just fall out.
Yeah. It's
yes. Yeah. Bucs,
yes.
Same.
Yes.
No analysis needed. If there was ever a great matchup, Monday night to get Brady back on track in these Bucs, Monday Night Football at home against a Giants defense that has been very porous for most of the year. This just screams like Bucs domination. So also going with Tampa Bay. All right, let's move to our team draft. So I don't know if we're going to start with Tommy, but we'll do the previous standing. So Tommy, you and Will tied, but you are the reigning champion of the picks, so you will get the first pick where you draft a game for one of us to cover for the main slate. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for defaulting over to me, and now I get to have a little bit of fun. But you know what? I'm going to start on brand. Before I go off and unravel things, I'll just start assigning little things. So, Brian, I will assign to you just because I don't want to assign it. I don't want this game, and I love Billy, so I can't do it to him. Yep, you got it.
But you don't love me?
Brian.
Okay, fair enough.
You got it. It's your Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. I mean, it's not that I don't like you. It's your team. You get to watch your team.
It is my team.
But I don't want to watch this, unfortunately, and I don't want Billy to have to watch this. So
if I wasn't a Dolphins fan, I wouldn't want to watch this either. I don't blame you.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying, all right, I'll just give this to you. No harm, no foul. We're all good still.
All right, so I will start with the picks for this game. I'm happy to pick my Dolphins here. I just feel like I'm not saying they're peaking because they still have a long way to go, but they just came off a win against a possible Super Bowl contender in the AFC over the Ravens, and a pretty dominant win, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And as we mentioned earlier, it's in all likelihood it's going to be either Mike White or Joe Flacco. It is at home in New York, but that doesn't really scare me. I went to lots of Dolphins-Jets game when I lived in New York, and the Dolphins won, I think, almost every single time. So going with the Dolphins to win this, and if you're betting also would go with the cover here. It's looking like Tua is going to play. So Tua will start against either Mike White or Joe Flacco. I'm going Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm just going to piggyback real quick and say I absolutely agree with you. I wanted to just pick the Jets for the memes, but Miami has looked a little bit on a different tier compared to at least the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go with the Dolphins. The Jets are just – this is not the Jets' year, right? So
That's
As most years are not the Jets' years, at least over
we
the past
just
2
dunked
decades.
on them so hard.
We really do. I mean, it's kind of deserved.
Sorry to our 3 Jets fans.
Yeah. All right, Will, you are next up in the team draft, or game draft, rather.
yeah, just because I don't like either of you.
I love the honesty.
It's not true. Tommy did a good job for me, so I can't. I was going to give this to Tommy, but I guess I'm still going to give it to Tommy. I need you to take the Texans versus the Titans.
Oh,
The Texans. Why would you do that?
I love it.
Don't wanna watch
I love
this
it.
game.
Nobody
I
wants to
thought
watch
he
that.
was going to give me the Eagles game the way that he set it up. Now you're making me watch the Houston. Oh my goodness, you hate.
Oh yeah, it'll be a really good game.
All right, now I see how we're playing this game. I try to be nice, and this is what happens. But all right, Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans. I feel like this is just going to be so much fun to watch, but this is also one of the easier picks. You got to pick the Tennessee Titans. I know that they are kind of hurt, but they have proven time and time again that they're a good team, and they're actually playing a bad team this time. So as long as they don't play down to their opponent, it should easily be the Tennessee Titans. And thanks. Thanks,
Even if they do play down to their opponent, they're still going to beat the Texans.
It's going to be a good game to watch. I'm going to go with the Titans too. I don't have a lot of reasons why that I would pick the Texans. So
It's literally the best team versus the worst team. So, at least in the AFC.
Listen, I feel bad already. All right, I thought it was going to be funny. Now
I
just
think
feel
it's
bad.
funny.
It's like I kicked a special needs.
If you
kid.
gave that to
that's
me, you
not.
wouldn't feel bad. If you gave that to me, you wouldn't feel bad for 2 seconds. This is because it's Tommy.
I was just trying
That's
to be
true.
so nice, listeners. Just know.
Can I go again?
No, you can't go again. That's not how
Get
it
outta
works.
here.
It's my turn.
Now I know what you've done to me.
Let's see. What games can I give? Oh, you know what? Detroit Lions at Cleveland Browns. I'm going to give that to Will.
Thank you.
That's
I gotta-
fine.
Just
There's nothing like cheering for Anthony.
good spin.
Who I love dear to my
Good
heart.
silver lining.
'Cause
Browns.
his picks are 0-2-1 on the year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get to that after we do this. We'll recap Anthony's producer picks. I hope you put your picks in for this week,
God,
Anthony.
This is actually tough
Yeah, he did.
because, are we talking about the Baker Mayfield Browns?
More like maybe the
Are we
Case
talking
Keenum.
about the Case Keenum Browns?
Ooh, Case Keenum versus Jared Goff for the win.
Look, just because I
Do it. Don't
can't
fall
do
for the
it.
trap, dude.
I can't do it. I'm gonna go Lions.
Oh,
to beat the Browns at home.
All right,
Spicy.
go for it. He took the he took the
Spicy.
cheese.
I mean, here's the thing: the Browns should win handily.
That's what I'm picking.
They're favored by 10.5 points, and they're playing at home, and they just got blown out. But here's the thing: the law of probability states that the Titans or the Lions can't lose every single
They
game
will.
this year, as
They'll
ju-
show you.
They,
Don't worry.
they just tied. And so, it would just be a very Browns thing to lose to the Lions. So I'm just going to go on record. Plus, I don't care about our overall pick record. And I'm going to pick the Lions just to upset the Browns
Just
at home.
crapping
And
on the
just make-
PPP picks contest like it's
Oh,
nothing.
dude, I
Because-
take pride in this.
So
dude.
do I.
I'm
Because
so happy.
Here's the thing. What would make Browns fans more sad than to lose to the Lions at home?
That's fair.
Yeah, that would absolutely
It's
be the
gotta
worst
happen.
thing.
That'd be so
Yeah,
memeable.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Anthony, do I get a sound effect for siding with the Lions?
Oh, he's not
Yeah,
even
really.
there anymore. He's not.
No,
conscious.
he's
Nice. I haven't heard this one.
Anthony, shotgun if you feel like I'm going to be wrong, though.
Oh, look at
Clapping
that.
some more.
Feeling he's
What's up? Oh, yeah, just keep it going. Just keep
The
it going.
extended
Yeah.
applause.
Yes.
The extended, I
yes.
like it.
He feels
Yeah, it's just he's like one of those abused wives that won't leave. That like Anthony and the Lions.
Oh
that's what
the
that is.
abusive relationship.
The
has
Lions,
all the
the Lions are wearing the wife beater, and Anthony's just
All right,
like
you gotta
he's
give
gonna
your pick.
change. All right, so I mean, the Browns keep burning me, but I can't go all the way over to Detroit. I got to pick the Browns. Nice bounce back game after that absolute drubbing. I don't care if it's Case Keenum or if it's Baker Mayfield. I'm going to go with the Browns at home. I would not be confident in covering that 10.5 point spread, so I will say that. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Browns. I'll keep picking them until they burn me, as they always do.
I feel like this is bad juju. I'll keep mine short. I'm also going the Browns, but because I'm on the same side as Brian, you know I love you, but that can't be a good sign for me.
Yeah.
Brian, if the Browns win, I will cancel your order of nuggets that you have to DoorDash me. If the Lions win, you have to DoorDash me 5 times as many nuggets as you currently already owe me.
Okay.
So we're going from a 4-piece to a
20 piece. Fair enough. I accept your wager recorded on our Flavor of the Week episode. Tommy, you are next up in the...
I will eat every one of those nuggets on our next podcast.
There we go. That's the caveat. You got to eat it. The caveat. Caveat? What did we decide it was?
Oh,
Caveat.
my God.
Okay.
All right, let's
keep going. Tommy, you're next up in the draft.
Awesome. Well, what I'm now going to do is I'm just looking for games I personally do not want to watch. And so that unfortunately means bum. I guess that falls for the San Francisco 49ers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't really have much interest in this game. I don't think it's going to be a bad game, but it's a game where I kind of look at it and I'm like, I'll just look at the box score, and our good friend Billy can watch that game.
Yeah, I'm spoiler alert, I'm probably not going to watch that
I was
game.
going to ask
But
for an over.
I would have taken it just for the fan. Like, I'll watch Debo. I just want to watch Debo.
Oh, that's
Well, I'm
fair.
going to play Debo, so I'm going to watch it for
Okay.
that.
Well, you have
I
to,
mean,
because
that's
I signed
fine.
it to you now. So
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
fine.
And he
I'm
clearly
gonna
listened
take
last
the,
week and watching absolutely none
I
of the
want to
games.
do an over under on how many we believe he'll actually watch.
One.
Spoiler alert. It's gonna be.
Red Zone. The answer is Red Zone. I'm going to take the Niners to beat the Jaguars just because they're the Jaguars, and that's why.
Good
That's
enough.
fair. I feel like that's all the analysis we really needed on that end, but I also agree. I take the Niners.
Well, and the Niners, they looked so good. And against the division game, but against the Rams, this team clearly has talent. And the Jaguars, not so much, and I'm not confident in their coaching. Shanahan versus Meyer, no, not even close. Also going with the Niners. Probably would go pick them to cover that 5.5 point spread as well. Will, now it is your turn again in the draft.
Tommy, in order to make it up to you, you see the available games that are remaining. Which one do you want?
No,
look at that.
No.
Crowdsourcing
You gotta
it.
assign it to.
Yeah.
This is almost okay. This is more like a game. You kind of.
I didn't say you were going to get to cover it.
Well, that's true.
Oh.
You
What
did
you
do
wanted
like
to
a
cover.
top 10 anime betrayal.
Pulled the
moment.
rug out from under him,
So
like
that's why I'm not going to tell you. Actually,
Charlie
So,
Brown pulling
we
the
will
football
see.
away.
I'm not falling for this.
All right. I know you really want to watch the Eagles play the Saints. Just because you want to watch, I don't know, but I don't want to watch that at all. So just for fear of being assigned to that game, I'll let you watch the Eagles versus the Saints.
Oh,
That-
thank you for
that's-
blessing me with this terrible game.
That's
But
part
no,
of the
no, I don't
strategy.
mean that.
You have to
Yeah.
assign games that you don't want to be assigned to you. That's smart thinking, Will.
That's what I started to do. Yeah. But
You're damn right.
for me, I am going to take. Wow, really? Is it really that close? That's kind of crazy to me.
Point
But
spread is Eagles, at least of Monday, because I print this off PFF Green Line on Monday. Eagles favored at home by 1.5, 43.5, low point total here.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know it was going to be that close, but gotta be on brand. As long as I have the lead or close to the lead for picks, I default to the Birds, and it's pretty close according to Vegas. So yeah, go Birds.
I'm gonna take the Saints. I just think
Yeah, this is where you guys
New
should catch
Orleans
up.
rushing.
Everyone take the
New
Saints.
Orleans rushing game is just gonna eat Philly's linebackers for lunch, and all you got to do is cover Devonta Smith because there's nothing outside of him in the entire
Excuse
passing
me,
game.
Boston Scott. Come on now.
Sure. I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Yeah, Saints have one of the better run defenses in the NFL. They don't have as great a secondary, but they do have one really good corner in Marshawn Lattimore. And as Will said, Devontae Smith is really the only receiving threat. So I'm also going with the Saints. They've lost 2 in a row. I can't see Peyton losing a third. He was, if you happen to see any of his press conference, he was very, very upset with the way his team has played, even though it's on the road, close. But yeah, I also have the Saints winning this one over the Eagles. All right, so let me take a look at the slate here.
There's 4 games left. Come on.
No, the afternoon games too. It's not just the morning game. You got 3 games in the 4 p.m. I say morning. I'm West Coast. You guys are not. You know what? I don't really have any interest in Bengals Raiders, but I know Tommy does because I know he likes Burrow and I know he's a Raiders stan. So that's a 2-for-1. Gets a game I don't want to cover, and it sends it over to Tommy. So, Tommy, I'm going to give you Cincinnati Bengals at the Las Vegas Raiders. As of Monday, this was a pick 'em. Neither team favored.
Wow, that's actually pretty surprising to me. Well, I don't want to be defensive here and say I'm not a Raiders stan, because I feel like I'm not. I just believe that they're a better team than people give them credit for, so that always kind of comes off as, oh, man, you're a stan now. But for me, I can't go against Joey B. I mean, coming off of a bye, I know a lot of teams have been pretty poor off the bye this year, something I've realized. Maybe I'm just making that up, but that's just kind of how it feels. So I'm hoping that they're not rusty and just kind of coming off slow. But for me, going to go with Cincinnati.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Bengals.
Don't sound so excited now.
Well, I can see a scenario. I mean, clearly it's a pick 'em. Vegas thinks this could go either way. Raiders playing at home, because they were just playing at home, got trounced by the Chiefs, so that didn't necessarily mean anything. I just think the shine has worn off. Whatever boost they got from the post-Groden firing, where they won 2 games in a row, seems to have been lost.
John Groden.
Did I say Groden?
That's what it sounded like.
It's well, whatever. I'm all over the place. All right. So yeah, I'm also picking Cincinnati, and Tommy, back to you in the draft.
All right, I have a fun one for you, Brian. I want to send over to you Cam Newton's return, Carolina Panthers against
if you didn't do it, I was gonna
Washington football team. And I know that doesn't sound like a sexy game, Brian, but I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun. Just think of the energy.
Excited. I want to watch
home. This. Cam Newton's back. I obviously have invested interest in Christian McCaffrey, which I feel like should hurt you every time he does well, just due to a little fantasy football kind of
I do have CMC in one of my leagues, so it's not completely
even
hurting.
Better. Like, I'm doing this in good faith. I'm not doing this to be like, oh, I actually think this will be like, I might actually watch this.
In Anthony's league, actually. I have CMC in Anthony's league.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of fun in my opinion, and especially with a Washington defense that looks suspect all year and just lost Chase Young. I mean, think of Cam Newton. Like, it's in the realm of possibility. He comes back, and I'm not saying he dominates, but he puts up some points, and I feel like that'll be a really fun game to cover.
Oh, do I have to pick first? Okay, fine. Yeah. So I think this is a pretty easy one. The way the Panthers defense is playing, the way the whole team played with Cam back, and Cam is looking to start, I think this football team's resurgence against the Bucs is short-lived. Carolina at home. Cam making his return to play at Carolina for the first time. They were in Arizona this week. I'm going to pick the Panthers, and I would pick them to cover that 2.5 as well.
Panthers.
It's got to be the Panthers as well. Come on, Cam Newton. Let's do this thing.
Will, your turn.
Yeah. I think Brian needs to watch more football than he already does. And this is just a game I don't want to watch because I hate one of these teams with the fire of 1,000 suns. So, Brian, you can watch the Cardinals play the Seahawks.
Okay. Kyler Murray looking like he's going to be back. Maybe Nuke Hopkins as well.
No, it's just
Russell
really
Wilson, NFC
not.
West. I'd love that. Thank you.
Great. I'm glad you do.
You don't care that I do. That doesn't weigh into your decision making at all.
The gimpy, injured Cardinals versus Russell Wilson's broken finger.
I mean, he has a point. If you word it that way, it doesn't sound exciting, but it should still be fun. I'd like to think, but I mean, hey, you could be right.
So as of Monday, Arizona favored by 2 on the road in Seattle. 50.5 is the point total. I am going to go with the Seahawks at home. I know that the Cardinals are a better team, but I just feel like Russ, with 1 week removed from that horrible game against the Packers, in a division game where anything can happen, playing at home, I just think the energy level is going to be high. I could end up regretting it. Could be one of these picks I make that gets me way behind, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks here.
I feel like I'm in danger because I am picking the same teams as Bry, but the main reason is because from what I hate this thing because it's kind of like what we always say about, oh, well, it depends who plays, but from what I've been seeing, I feel like Kyler won't play. I feel like Kyler wants to play, but the Cardinals just will shut him down and not let him play, and because of that, I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, okay.
I feel like if the Cardinals were healthy, you got to go with the Cardinals.
I agree with that, 100%.
But they're not, and like I don't want to watch the DeAndre Hopkins, gimpy Colt McCoy show against Russell Wilson at home. Like even though he just got blown out, it's probably a revenge game. You got to go with Russell Wilson. Not revenge game, but they want to play better this week than they did last week.
So we're getting to the juicy games where it's like, oh, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. So I don't want to assign away. But I think there's a clear one I'm going to give away for multiple reasons. And this is now the third podcast episode today I've recorded with Tommy. So I'm feeling the Tommy love right now. I'm going to give him the Ravens. I'm going to give him Baltimore at Chicago. He loves watching Lamar and that Ravens team. Ravens are favored by 6 on the road. Point total of 45. Tommy.
Yeah, even if you didn't assign me this is a game I would watch because I watch every Baltimore Ravens game. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, and his name is Lamar Jackson. And so I'm going to take Action Jackson. I feel like he's incredibly frustrated with how vulnerable and how embarrassed he was when he was in prime time and exposed. So I'm hoping he bounces back in a big, big way. So Baltimore for me. Easy.
Same. Also picking the Ravens. This is one of the easier ones to pick, even though it's one of the later games to get drafted. Will, you are up in the draft. Just a quick reminder, Tommy now has 4 games. I have 3. You have 2. It's like Will's not going to cover the games. Tommy and I are just giving each other the games.
You're going to get more games. The one I don't want is the Colts versus the
I was
Bills.
hoping to get this one.
So I'm not going to give it to you.
I shouldn't have said anything.
I know. You played your hand.
But all the games are good, right? To recap for the listeners, we got Colts at Bills, Packers, Vikings, and Cowboys versus
they're all
Dallas,
heavy hitters.
Cowboys versus Dallas. They're playing themselves? You said Cowboys versus Dallas. I'm going to call you out on it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's also 10 o'clock, and I don't get paid for this. So you get what you get.
You got nuggets
so
coming your way, maybe.
That's fair.
You're gonna get the Colts is the worst game. So let's go with Colts Bills. You can have that.
All right. I will happily take that. Should be an exciting game. Jury is out on whether I got the Colts right or wrong. I certainly got them wrong to start the season. I picked them to win the AFC South. That's not going to happen. The Titans just have such a big lead on them. But they've been playing much better lately, and they're still firmly in the race for that 7th AFC playoff spot. This will be a big test, though. Now, the Bills, I think they're back, waking up. I think it actually was beneficial to them to lose to the Jaguars. We saw that against the Jets. Playing at home, favored by 7. It says the Colts are favored by 7. That can't be right. I just copied and pasted that, but there's no way that's right. So I'm picking the Bills to win this game at home against Indianapolis.
Duh, Bills.
Absolutely agree. Got to go with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia, shout out. I believe,
all right, so
am I on the clock now? Or
I am on the clock. I am on the clock.
You're on the clock.
I have 5, you have 4, and Will still has 2, so I'm going to have to give Will another game.
No,
I might have 4.
You don't have to do anything.
Yes, I do. So I am going to give you... I'm going to give you Cowboys Chiefs.
Oh, that's the one. That's the big one.
To spare Tommy from having to watch Dak Prescott and the Cowboys look so incredibly good. So Dallas Cowboys at Chiefs, according to Green Line PFF on Monday. This was a pick'em, couple of pick'ems this week.
Yeah. Okay. I'll watch this game.
That was another reason I picked it, because I'm like, this is a game that we'll actually physically watch. Yeah. Is this the Romo game? I feel like this would be the Romo game this week.
Here's the thing, right? I feel like if we're talking about trends of this year, if you're going to talk about predictive analytics, you would say it's going to be the Cowboys. But I think that would be ignoring every history, right? And reality. So I don't think there's a problem with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they figured it out. I think this game is going to be a slugfest, but I think Kansas City's back. I'm going to go with Kansas City to figure it out and shred up Dallas' secondary. I'm going to take KC at home.
I 100% agree. KC is my pick.
I am going to differ. This is a game.
Yes, we're right then. Billy, we're right.
And you're going to be wrong.
So excited. Yeah,
we sure are, Tommy.
Congratulations to the Chiefs. I just feel, I just like this Dallas team better. I think that, man, when this team is firing on all cylinders, the way the Falcons' offense was a rising offense. We thought that game would be a shootout. Instead, the defense for the Cowboys played great. The offense played great. Kansas City has had their struggles. I think they'll play better. I think Dan Quinn will put a nice game plan in place. He'll play more of that too high safety show we talked about that has kind of been like the Mahomes kryptonite. I don't think that'll completely slow them down. I think this could be like a 60-point total game. But yeah, going with the Cowboys on the road. All right, Tommy, you are closing it out. There's just one game, but two of us to assign it to.
I believe if we are correct, Will is still behind, so I am going to assign Will. I don't know if he's going to watch it, though, but it's going to be the Green Bay Packers over at Minnesota. Mr. Rogers trying to play a divisional game and see if he still owns this division, and it looks like right now it should be a little fun, but it looks like the Packers are favored by 2.5 points, 49.5 point game total or point total. So that should be kind of interesting to watch. So, Billy, what are we thinking?
I hate you all. You know what's fun is you just have to be bad at your job, and then you get the best games to watch for the week. It's incredible. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like the Vikings can pull this out at home against the Packers. Just no Aaron. I mean, A.J. Dillon looks great. There's a very, this to me is a pick'em game, but Minnesota is trending up. All they have to do is, all they have to do is shut down Javonte Adams. I'm going to go Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings at home. I think they figure it out. No Jair Alexander. Their offense is looking pretty good. That's where I'm going to go.
I can't do it. I'm not as brave as you. I'm going to pick the Green Bay Packers. I feel like there is definitely a narrative that you just said that I can definitely buy into, but I just can't go against Aaron Rodgers too often. I know he technically burned me last time, but I feel like there's a much better reality where he bounces back being as, stubborn and arrogant as he is. Being like, oh, God, I got to show him that I can still do this. So, yeah, I'm taking the Packers.
He just won and shut out Seattle.
He didn't shut out Seattle. He didn't play defense.
Yeah, I feel like he was not the reason they won.
No,
so
he's not the reason.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right, though. It's not like he has something to prove, but I feel like he still does in my head. So I'm still taking the Packers. I mean, they did lose Aaron Jones. I feel like Davante Adams is due for an explosion, and I think it's coming. I'm going to side with Will. I think this should be a pick'em division game, AFC North. Have not been high on the Packers. Even the games they've won, they haven't just won decisively. And I like the way this fight. You guys know I picked the Vikings as a playoff team. I'm still feeling them. They've been up and down. Their consistency has been the issue. Playing at home, I think this offense has been smart and efficient. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings at home.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Can I switch?
No, you cannot.
I'm sorry, man. You're going down with
that
sinking ship, my friend.
Glad that you picked it first. Let's do a recap of Anthony. So, as of last week, we're allowing Anthony to pick 3 locks each week. the producer picks for the PPP.
Not a very high bar here.
So the PPPPP, P times 5. He picked the Broncos over the Eagles, the Chargers over the Vikings, and the Lions over the Steelers. And he went 0-2-1. Wah, wah. The only reason he didn't go 0-3 is because the Lions and Steelers tied.
He could pick 3 games that are locks.
Any 3.
And he goes 0-2-1. 0-2-1.
So this week, his locks, Chargers winning over the Steelers, Bengals over the Raiders, and the Cowboys over the Chiefs. So we're in lockstep there. Stay tuned to see if Anthony wins any of those games.
The Cowboys over the Chiefs is a lock, and the Bucks at home against the Giants is not.
Anthony, defend yourself with some sounds. I can't even tell if he's there when he has the camera off. There you go.
He's just flexing on us.
He's feeling it.
The 49ers over the Jaguars is not a lock. The Titans over the Texans is not a lock. What are we doing?
It's too late at this point.
I just went full Tommy. What are we doing?
You love to hear it. You love to see it.
You love to hear it. You really do.
All right. Well, hey.
My wife's going to be like, don't wake up the kids or I'll beat your ass from downstairs.
Well, we're about to end the episode, so you're going to have to deal with that directly, Will. Good luck with that. Guys, we have did it. We have did it. I just keep up. I need some food. Nuggets.
You want some nuggets?
We will see. This time next week, we'll see if anybody's getting nuggets. But let's wrap it up. We have finished our 2 episodes for this week in our 1-year anniversary.
Hang on. Wait a minute. Stop.
It can't be a 1-year anniversary without Will interrupting me on the outro. Yeah.
How about this week instead of dollar prizes for DraftKings,
nugget prizes?
An increasingly amount of nuggets.
35 nuggets, 15 nuggets, and 5 nuggets.
No, it's got to be the dollar's worth. So it's got to.
$35 worth of nuggets. 35 for first, 15 for $35 worth of nuggets. How about this? If you win, nuggets, dude. you being the listener, if you win our free DraftKings league next week, you can choose. You want $35 cash? I'll give you $35. You want $35 worth of nuggets? I will buy you.
Who in their right mind will choose $35 worth of chicken nuggets? Like that's that's like Thanksgiving, except all you get is chicken nuggets.
I feel like we should do this. It's a free thing. So how about you? What do you do? 35, 15, and 5. So how about this week? That's what you will get if you win. You will get $35 worth of nuggets, $15 worth of nuggets, or $5 worth of nuggets.
I might have to pass on the Twitter promo that I normally do for because I don't think that's gonna fly. Plus, also too many characters. But yeah.
What nuggets?
No, mentioning the promo like, hey. Enter it and get $35 worth of nuggets and $15 worth of nuggets. I don't think we'll get anybody joining that way is what I'm saying. Nobody's going to join to get free nuggets.
Who doesn't want nuggets?
Apparently nobody in your book.
Are you serious? We would have the highest DraftKings participation in the history of the
Maybe
sport.
we should try it as an experiment, A/B test.
Who would enjoy the Millie Maker if they could join up to win free $35
million
worth
of nuggets?
Well, I join and only doing the Millie Maker under the assumption that we can only spend this money on nuggets.
A 6-piece spicy nugget is $2.19. So if you win first place, you get
35 times.
You get 16 6-piece nuggets. That is 96 nuggets. If you win first place, you will get 96 nuggets. That is math.
He's the goodest.
We'll see. We'll see what we're gonna do here. I don't really know how this nugget thing's gonna work, but I like where your head's at. I'm really hungry right now. Okay, that is a perfect time to end it. Thanks for listening to the Flavor of the Week. Thanks for sticking with us after 1 whole year of this. We could be ending at any moment because Will could just ditch us for some nuggets. So we appreciate you sticking in. Don't forget to tell your friends. Leave us a 5-star review or a 4 or a 3 or a 2 or a 1. I don't care. Just leave us a review.
Oh my God.
Subscribe. And you know what? We'll see you next week on the PPP.
Go Birds. Go Lions.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Pigskin Party Podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. We really appreciate that effort. We'll catch you in the next Pigskin Party.